Success is the sum of small efforts, repeated day in and day out. This simple truth holds the key to transforming your life in ways you never thought possible. It's not about big, overwhelming changes. It's about taking one small step every single day, showing up, and staying committed to your growth. In this video, I'm going to share a clear, actionable plan that will help you take control of your life in just 1 month. This plan isn't about doing everything at once. It's about making real progress in manageable steps that will set you up for lasting success. From waking up with purpose to replacing old habits with new ones, you'll learn how to stay on track and keep moving forward, no matter the obstacles. You don't need to wait for a perfect moment or for everything to fall into place. All you need is a decision to take action, a willingness to push yourself, and the courage to make small changes that will add up to something big. By the end of the month, you'll see how far you've come, and you'll feel a sense of accomplishment that will fuel you for the next phase of your journey. So if you're ready to make this month count, to truly transform your life, stay with me. Let's dive into this plan and start creating the life you've always wanted, one day, one step at a time. Number 1, wake up with a purpose. If you want to change your life, if you want to make progress, if you want to achieve your goals, it begins the moment you open your eyes in the morning. The problem is, most people wake up without a clear purpose. They wake up because they have to, not because they want to. The alarm rings, they hit snooze, they roll out of bed feeling tired and unmotivated, and they go through the day without direction. That's not how you build a successful life. That's how you stay stuck. If you want to transform your life in 1 month, the first thing you need to change is how you wake up. You need to wake up with a clear purpose, a reason to get out of bed, something that excites you and pushes you forward. Because when you have a purpose, you don't need motivation to get up. You just do it. You don't waste time thinking about whether you feel like getting up or not. You just get moving because you know exactly why you're doing it. So how do you wake up with a purpose? It starts with knowing what you want. If you don't have a goal, if you don't have something you're working toward, it's easy to wake up feeling lost. So take a moment to ask yourself, what am I working toward right now? What do I want to achieve in the next 30 days? Maybe you want to improve your health. Maybe you want to build a new habit. Maybe you want to grow your business, improve your relationships, or develop a skill. Whatever it is, be clear about it. Write it down. Make it real. Once you have that goal, the next step is to connect it to your morning. Every night before you go to bed, decide on one key action that you will take the next morning to move closer to that goal. If your goal is to get in shape, your morning purpose might be to wake up and exercise. If your goal is to build a business, your purpose might be to wake up and spend the first hour working on your ideas. If your goal is to improve your mindset, your purpose might be to wake up and read something that inspires you. The point is to have a specific action that connects your morning to your bigger purpose. Once you know what you're waking up for, the next thing to do is eliminate the bad habits that make mornings harder. And one of the worst habits, hitting the snooze button. Let me tell you something. Every time you hit snooze, you're training yourself to delay your life. You're training yourself to say, I'll do it later. That's not how successful people operate. Successful people don't snooze on their goals. They don't snooze on their future. So if you're serious about waking up with a purpose, make the decision right now. No more snooze button. When the alarm rings, you get up. No hesitation, no excuses. Another habit that ruins your morning, checking your phone first thing. Most people grab their phones the second they wake up. They start scrolling through social media, reading messages, checking emails, and before they know it, 30 minutes have passed, and they've already lost control of their morning. Don't let your phone set the tone for your day. Take control of your time. The first hour of your day should be about you, your goals, your mindset, your purpose, not reacting to what other people want from you. Now let's talk about morning routines. A good morning routine is one that supports your purpose. It doesn't have to be complicated. It just needs to help you start the day with energy and focus. Maybe you start with stretching or exercise to wake up your body. Maybe you drink a glass of water to hydrate. Maybe you spend a few minutes in silence, thinking about your goals. The key is to do something intentional, something that reminds you why you're up and what you're working toward. And let's be honest, some mornings will be harder than others. There will be days when you don't feel like getting up, days when you're tired, unmotivated, or frustrated. But here's the truth. Discipline is more important than motivation. Motivation is temporary. Some days you have it, some days you don't. But discipline, waking up and taking action, even when you don't feel like it. That's what changes your life. When you wake up with a purpose every day for 30 days, something incredible happens. You start to feel more in control. You stop wasting time. You begin to build momentum. You stop letting the day control you, and instead you take charge of how you spend your time. By the end of the month, you'll feel like a different person, more focused, more confident, more disciplined. Success doesn't come from one big decision. It comes from the small choices you make every day. And the first choice you make each day is whether to wake up with a purpose or not. Choose wisely and watch how your life starts to change. Number 2, replace a bad habit with a good one. Your habits, your success, your health, your happiness, and even your daily mood are all the result of your habits. The things you do repeatedly, day after day, determine where you end up in life. And the truth is, everyone has habits. Some are good, some are bad. Some push you forward, and some hold you back. If you want to transform your life in 1 month, you have to make a serious decision to replace a bad habit with a good one. Now, most people try to get rid of bad habits by just stopping them. They say, I'm going to quit wasting time on my phone. I'm going to stop eating junk food. I'm going to stop procrastinating. But here's the problem. When you try to remove a bad habit without replacing it, you leave an empty space. And if you don't fill that space with something better, that old habit will come right back. That's why the key isn't just to remove a bad habit, it's to replace it with a good one. When you replace a bad habit, you're not just trying to stop something negative. You're actively building something positive in its place. The first step is to identify the habit that's holding you back. Be honest with yourself. Maybe it's staying up too late and waking up tired. Maybe it's spending too much time on social media instead of working on your goals. Maybe it's eating unhealthy food and feeling sluggish all day. Or maybe it's making excuses instead of taking action. Whatever it is, write it down. Get clear on the habit that's keeping you stuck. Now, once you've identified the habit, the next step is to understand why you do it. Every habit exists for a reason. It serves a purpose, even if it's a negative one. Maybe you stay up late because you want to relax after a stressful day. Maybe you scroll through your phone because you're looking for a distraction. Maybe you eat junk food because it's convenient. Once you understand the reason behind the habit, you can find a better way to meet that need. This is where replacing the habit comes in. Let's say you want to stop staying up late and waking up tired. Instead of just saying, I'll go to bed earlier, create a new evening routine. Set a time to turn off your screens, read a book, and relax before bed. Replace late-night distractions with something that helps you wind down. If your bad habit is wasting time on your phone, replace it with a productive activity, like reading, journaling, or exercising. If your habit is eating junk food, replace it with healthier options that still satisfy your cravings. The goal is to swap out the bad with something good that still meets the same need. One of the most important things to remember is that habits don't change overnight. They take time. You might slip up, and that's okay. What matters is that you don't quit. If you miss a day, don't let it turn into 2. If you catch yourself falling back into an old habit, remind yourself why you started. Stay committed. Another thing that helps is accountability. Tell someone about the habit you're changing. Ask them to check in on you. When you know someone else is watching, you're more likely to stay on track. You can also track your progress by writing it down. Every day you stick to your new habit, mark it on a calendar. The longer your streak gets, the more motivated you'll be to keep going. By the end of 1 month, you'll notice a change. You'll feel more in control of your actions. You'll have more energy, more focus, and more confidence. And most importantly, you'll realize that you're capable of making real changes in your life. You don't have to stay stuck in the same bad habits. You have the power to replace them with something better. The question is, are you ready to make that choice? Because once you do, your life will never be the same. Number 3, take one risk every day. I'm not talking about doing something reckless or dangerous. What I'm talking about is pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone. It's about taking action, even when you're not sure what the outcome will be. When you consistently take risks, you change your mindset. You stop playing it safe, and you start living with more courage, confidence, and boldness. We all have a natural tendency to stay in our comfort zones. It's safe there. It's familiar. We know what to expect. But comfort is the enemy of growth. If you want to grow, if you want to achieve your goals, if you want to improve your life, you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You have to take risks. So let's break it down. What does it mean to take a risk every day? It doesn't have to be something huge. A risk could be speaking up in a meeting when you normally stay quiet. It could be approaching someone new and starting a conversation when you'd usually stay in the background. It could be trying a new workout routine when you've always stuck to the same one. It could be investing time or money in a new project you're passionate about, even if you're not sure it will succeed. Taking risks doesn't always mean a big leap. Sometimes it's about taking small, calculated steps that push you toward your goals. The point is to get in the habit of doing something that challenges you every day. Every time you take a risk, you learn something new. You grow stronger. You become more comfortable with uncertainty, and you get closer to becoming the person you want to be. Let's be clear. Taking risks doesn't mean acting impulsively. It's not about making decisions without thinking things through. It's about being willing to step into the unknown, even when you're not 100% sure of the outcome. You don't have to have it all figured out before you take that first step. In fact, you'll never have it all figured out, and that's okay. Growth doesn't happen in perfect conditions. It happens when you're willing to take the first step, even when you don't have all the answers. Now, I know this can be scary. It's natural to feel fear when you step out of your comfort zone. You might be worried about failing. You might be afraid of what other people will think. But here's the thing. Fear is normal. It's a part of the process. Every successful person has been afraid at some point. The difference is they didn't let fear stop them. They used it as fuel. They took the risk anyway. So how do you start taking risks every day? First, start small. Look for opportunities in your daily life to push yourself a little further than you're used to. Maybe it's speaking up in a group, or maybe it's trying something new that scares you. It could be asking for a promotion at work, or it could be putting yourself out there and starting a new business. Whatever it is, don't let fear hold you back. Second, get comfortable with failure. Understand that not every risk will pay off. Not every decision will be a success. But every risk is a learning opportunity. Even if things don't go as planned, you'll learn from the experience, and that will make you better the next time around. And third, remember that the more risks you take, the more you'll grow. The more you step into the unknown, the more confident you'll become in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. You'll stop seeing challenges as threats and start seeing them as opportunities. Taking one risk every day might seem like a small thing, but over the course of a month, the impact will be huge. You'll begin to see things differently. You'll stop playing it safe, and you'll start taking bold action toward your goals. You'll build confidence. You'll learn more about yourself, and you'll start seeing results you never thought possible. And here's the most important part. When you take risks, you're showing yourself that you're willing to do whatever it takes to reach your goals. You're telling yourself that you believe in your ability to succeed, even when the path isn't clear. You're proving that you're committed to growing, to becoming better, and to taking your life to the next level. So if you're ready to change your life, take one risk every day. It doesn't matter how big or small the risk is. What matters is that you're pushing yourself to grow. And when you do that, you'll unlock a level of success and confidence you never thought possible. Number 4, learn something new every day. If you want to transform your life, you need to embrace a mindset of constant learning. If you think you know it all, you're already behind. The world is constantly changing, and if you want to stay relevant, if you want to grow, if you want to succeed, you need to learn something new every single day. Every day is a chance to improve yourself. Every day is an opportunity to get better, smarter, and more skilled than you were the day before. It doesn't matter how old you are, how much experience you have, or how many books you've read. There's always something new to learn. Learning isn't just about gaining knowledge. It's about developing the ability to think differently, to solve problems creatively, and to improve the quality of your decisions. If you want to improve your life in the next 30 days, commit to learning something new every day. It doesn't have to be a huge lesson, and it doesn't have to take hours, but it has to be something. Something that challenges you, something that stretches your mind, something that moves you forward. Think about it. When was the last time you learned something that truly excited you? When was the last time you took the time to pick up a new skill, understand a new concept, or dive into a subject that you didn't know much about? Most of us get comfortable. We fall into routines. We get stuck in a job, in a situation, in our ways of thinking. But if you want to break out of that and create a life of growth, you have to make learning a habit. Learning doesn't always mean sitting down with a textbook. It can happen in many forms. It could mean listening to a podcast on a topic you're interested in. It could mean reading an article or a chapter from a book. It could mean watching a video or taking a course. It could even mean having a conversation with someone who has knowledge that you don't. The key is to make learning a part of your daily life. Now let me be clear. Learning something new doesn't mean you have to master it overnight. You don't have to become an expert in one day. The goal is just to gain a little more understanding, to get a little better. Imagine if you spent just 15 minutes every day learning something new. Over the course of a month, that's 450 minutes of learning, or about 7.5 hours. That's a lot of time, and it's a lot of knowledge. Small steps over time add up to big results. Let's also talk about the benefits of learning something new every day. First, it keeps your mind sharp. As we get older, it's easy to fall into the trap of doing the same things over and over again. We stop challenging ourselves, and our brains start to get stagnant. But when you actively learn new things, you keep your mind engaged. You keep it sharp, flexible, and ready for whatever comes your way. Second, learning something new every day boosts your confidence. The more you know, the more you can handle. When you have knowledge and skills that others don't, you feel more capable. You feel more prepared to take on challenges. You start to realize that you have the ability to handle situations you once thought were beyond you. Third, it gives you a sense of progress. Progress is one of the greatest motivators. When you feel like you're moving forward, when you see that you're getting better, it fuels your drive to keep going. Every time you learn something new, you're taking a step toward becoming the best version of yourself. It's not about perfection. It's about progress. You might be thinking, but I'm too busy. How can I make time for learning? The truth is, you have the time. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. What's important is how you use that time. If you're not making time to learn, you're choosing not to. Every day you have moments when you're doing nothing productive. When you're waiting in line, sitting in traffic, or scrolling through social media. Those are opportunities to learn. You don't need hours at a time. You can learn in small increments. Find pockets of time throughout your day to read, listen, or watch something educational. Another great way to learn something new every day is to set specific learning goals. Maybe you want to learn a new skill, like coding or playing an instrument. Maybe you want to learn more about a certain topic, like history, business, or psychology. Whatever it is, make it clear. Write it down. Make a commitment to spend time each day working on that goal. The more focused you are on your learning, the faster you'll see results. It's also important to track your progress. Every time you learn something new, take note of it. This could be in a notebook, on your phone, or in a journal. Tracking your progress gives you a sense of accomplishment. It reminds you that you're moving forward, even if it doesn't feel like it every day. But let's not forget about the ultimate benefit of learning. It opens doors. The more you learn, the more opportunities you'll create. When you have knowledge and skills, you become more valuable in your personal and professional life. People will look to you for advice. You'll have more ideas, you'll have more solutions. You'll have more confidence in yourself and your abilities. Learning isn't just about accumulating information. It's about transforming your life and creating opportunities. By the end of 30 days, if you've committed to learning something new every day, you'll be amazed at how much you've grown. You'll have more knowledge, more skills, and more confidence. You'll be a different person, more capable and more ready for whatever comes next. But the most important thing is that you'll realize that learning is a lifelong journey. Every day is an opportunity to grow. So make the decision right now to learn something new every day and see just how much you can achieve in the next month. There's no limit to what you can do when you commit to constant learning. It's the key to growth, to success, and to living a fulfilling life. So make it a habit. Take 15 minutes a day and make learning a part of your daily routine. Watch how it changes your life. Number 5, stay patient and trust the process. In the journey of life, we often want results fast. We want the success, the happiness, the changes to happen now. But the truth is, real transformation takes time. It's easy to get impatient when we don't see immediate results. We start doubting ourselves, second-guessing our decisions, and wondering if it's all worth it. But here's the secret. You have to stay patient and trust the process. You see, every successful person has been through a phase of struggle, a phase of working hard without seeing immediate results. Whether it's building a business, losing weight, learning a new skill, or creating a positive change in your life. It all takes time. And there will be times when it feels like nothing is happening, when you wonder if the effort you're putting in is really going to pay off. But trust me, it will. One of the biggest mistakes people make is giving up too soon. They start strong, they put in the work, but when things don't improve immediately, they quit. They think, this isn't working. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. And just like that, they stop. They stop working on their goals, stop moving forward, and give up before the results start showing up. If you want to succeed, you have to stay the course. You have to trust that every small step you take is leading you somewhere. Even when it feels like you're not making progress, remember that every effort counts. The work you put in today may not show up tomorrow, but it's building the foundation for future success. You have to understand that results don't always come on your timeline. Life doesn't work like that. It's easy to get frustrated when things don't move as fast as you want, but you can't rush the process. It's like planting a seed in the ground. You can't force it to grow faster. You can't rush the rain, or the sun, or the soil to do their job. All you can do is plant the seed, water it, and wait for it to grow. The same principle applies to everything in life. If you want to build a successful career, it takes time. If you want to build strong relationships, it takes time. If you want to lose weight, get healthier, or become the best version of yourself, it takes time. The key is to stay patient, to trust that all the work you're putting in will eventually pay off. But it's not just about waiting around and hoping for things to get better. Staying patient doesn't mean you're not taking action. It means you're taking consistent, purposeful action and believing that those actions are building towards something bigger. It means showing up every day, even when it feels like nothing is changing. And it means trusting that you're on the right path, even when you don't see the results right away. Let me ask you something. How many times have you heard the story of someone who achieved great success, and when they looked back, they realized that all the little steps they took over the years were the ones that got them there? Success is never just one big moment. It's a series of small moments, of consistent action, of doing the work, even when you don't feel like it. And that's why patience is so important. Patience isn't about sitting around and waiting for things to happen. It's about staying committed, staying focused, and continuing to take action, even when the results aren't immediately visible. It's about trusting that every small step you take, no matter how insignificant it might seem, is getting you closer to your goal. But here's the thing. The process isn't always easy. There will be days when you feel tired, when you feel discouraged, when you question if it's all worth it. And that's normal. It's part of the journey. But those are the moments when you have to dig deep and remind yourself why you started in the first place. You have to remind yourself that every small action, every day you show up, is moving you closer to your dreams. One of the best ways to stay patient is to track your progress. When you see the little improvements, even if they're small, it gives you the motivation to keep going. When you look back at how far you've come, you realize that even though the progress may have been slow, it has been steady. And steady progress is the key to long-term success. Another way to stay patient is to focus on the process, not just the outcome. Yes, we all want the end result, but the process is where the growth happens. The process is where you learn, where you improve, where you develop the skills and the mindset that will carry you through to the end. If you focus solely on the outcome, you might lose sight of what's happening in the present. But if you trust the process and commit to the journey, you'll find fulfillment along the way. And remember, it's not about perfection. It's about progress. You don't have to do everything perfectly to make progress. You don't have to get everything right every time. What matters is that you keep going, keep improving, and keep trusting that the work you're putting in is making a difference. So if you want to transform your life in the next 30 days, stay patient and trust the process. Keep putting in the work, even when it feels like nothing is happening. Keep showing up, even when it feels like you're not getting any closer to your goals. Keep believing that every step you take, no matter how small, is leading you to the life you want. And when you look back after 30 days, you'll realize that all those little moments, all those little steps, have added up to something incredible. You'll see the progress you've made, and you'll feel proud of what you've accomplished. Most importantly, you'll realize that the process is just as important as the destination. The journey, with all its ups and downs, is what makes you stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the success that's coming your way. Number 6, push yourself to take action. The road to success is paved with action. Dreams, goals, and ideas are important, but without action, they remain nothing more than fantasies. If you truly want to change your life, you need to push yourself to take action. It's not enough to plan, to think, or to wish for something better. You need to get up, make a move, and take responsibility for making things happen. I want you to think about this. How many times have you been in a situation where you knew exactly what you needed to do, but for some reason you didn't do it? Maybe it was fear, maybe it was procrastination, or maybe it was simply lack of motivation. The truth is, we all face these moments. But here's the hard truth. Nothing changes until you do something about it. You can plan all you want, but if you don't act, nothing will ever happen. Taking action is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's easy to dream. It's easy to talk about what you want, but the real magic happens when you get moving. Taking action is what separates successful people from everyone else. It's not the person who talks the most about their goals who gets the results. It's the person who actually takes the steps day in and day out to move forward. But let me tell you, taking action is not always easy. If it were, everyone would be successful. The fact is, most people struggle to take that first step, and they struggle even more when they don't see immediate results. But here's the thing. You don't have to see immediate results to make progress. You don't have to have everything figured out before you start. The key is to take that first step, then the next one, and keep going. When you push yourself to take action, you learn as you go. You learn from your mistakes. You learn from your failures. You learn what works and what doesn't. You can't learn if you're sitting on the sidelines. You can't improve if you're waiting for the perfect moment to take action. The perfect moment is always now. You've got to get comfortable with discomfort. Taking action is uncomfortable. It's going to push you out of your comfort zone, and that's where the real growth happens. But if you want to grow, if you want to succeed, you have to get used to the idea of being uncomfortable. Every time you take action, even when it feels hard or scary, you are one step closer to your goal. Let's talk about fear for a second. Fear is one of the biggest reasons people don't take action. They're afraid of failing. They're afraid of making mistakes. And sometimes they're afraid of success itself. But let me tell you, fear will always be there. Fear is part of the process. It's normal to feel afraid when you're doing something new, when you're stepping into the unknown. But the key is not to let fear control you. The key is to move forward despite your fear. It's to acknowledge it but not let it stop you. I'm going to challenge you. The next time you feel fear, instead of letting it stop you, let it push you. Use that fear as fuel to take action. When fear shows up, you know you're doing something right. Because success is rarely achieved by playing it safe. Success is about pushing past fear, embracing discomfort, and doing the things that scare you. Now, I understand that taking action doesn't always guarantee immediate success. You won't always get everything right the first time. But that's okay. Every action you take, every step you make, is a step forward. Even if you make mistakes, even if you fail, you're still moving, you're still learning, and you're still progressing. It's important to remember that you don't have to take massive action all at once. Small steps every day add up. Maybe you're not going to change your entire life in one day. But if you take action every single day, those small steps will lead to big results. Don't get discouraged if you're not seeing the outcome you want right away. Keep pushing, keep taking action, and keep improving. One of the biggest secrets to success is consistency. It's not about doing one big thing and hoping for results. It's about showing up every day, doing the little things, and staying committed to the process. The people who succeed aren't necessarily the smartest, the most talented, or the most gifted. They're the ones who keep going, day after day, even when things get tough. Taking action is also a way to build momentum. At first, it might feel slow. You might not see much happening. But as you continue to take consistent action, you'll start to build momentum. Things will start to move faster. Opportunities will start to appear. And before you know it, you'll be looking back and realizing how far you've come. One of the best ways to push yourself to take action is to set clear, actionable goals. If your goal is too vague, it's easy to procrastinate. But when you have a clear plan and a specific action you can take today, it becomes much easier to get started. Don't wait for motivation to strike. Motivation comes after action. When you take the first step, the momentum will build and the motivation will follow. Sometimes, taking action means breaking things down into smaller tasks. You don't have to do everything at once. If your goal feels overwhelming, break it down into manageable steps. Focus on what you can do today, what you can do this week, and keep moving forward. Every small action adds up over time. You can't wait for the perfect moment to take action. The perfect moment doesn't exist. There's no such thing as the right time. The right time is now. The best time to start is today. Not tomorrow, not next week. Stop waiting. Stop making excuses. Get up, take action, and start moving toward the life you want. The key to success is simple. Take action. Push yourself to take action every single day. Even when you don't feel like it. Even when it's hard. Even when you're scared. Success doesn't come from thinking about it or planning it. It comes from doing it. So make the decision right now to push yourself to take action. No more waiting, no more excuses. Take that first step and keep moving forward. The more you push yourself, the more you'll see that you're capable of. You'll be amazed at how much you can achieve once you start taking consistent action. So let's make today the day you take action. Let's make today the day you commit to doing whatever it takes to move forward. Keep pushing, keep acting, and keep going. Your future is waiting for you. The only thing left to do is take action. Number 7, reward yourself for staying on track. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle, to push yourself day after day without acknowledging the progress you've made. But if you want to stay motivated, if you want to keep going, you've got to reward yourself for staying on track. Rewarding yourself isn't just about giving yourself a treat. It's about recognizing the effort you've put in and celebrating the small wins along the way. This is one of the most powerful tools you can use to maintain momentum on your journey. The truth is, too many people focus on the big end goal and forget to celebrate the small steps that get them there. They wait until they've reached the top to feel good about their progress. But here's the secret. Progress isn't just about the destination. It's about the journey. It's about every little step, every small action, and every day you show up and put in the work. And when you celebrate those small wins, you build a positive mindset that keeps you going. Rewarding yourself isn't about being lazy or indulgent. It's about reinforcing good habits and building positive momentum. When you reward yourself for staying on track, you're telling yourself, hey, I did something good. I stayed focused. I made progress. And that positive reinforcement encourages you to keep going. It's like giving yourself a little pat on the back, reminding yourself that your efforts matter and motivating you to keep pushing forward. Now, rewards don't have to be big. You don't need to wait for a massive achievement before you take a moment to acknowledge your progress. In fact, the smaller the reward, the more meaningful it can be. Maybe you've been sticking to your exercise routine for a week. Treat yourself to something small that feels good. Maybe you've made progress on your business goals. Take a moment to enjoy the sense of accomplishment. These small rewards can be simple. A nice walk in the park, watching your favorite show, enjoying a cup of coffee, or even taking a few minutes to relax. By rewarding yourself, you're reinforcing the idea that staying on track is worth it. When you hit a milestone, no matter how small, take time to acknowledge it. Celebrate the fact that you showed up, that you stayed focused, and that you took action. The more you reward yourself for these actions, the more you'll want to keep going. You'll start to associate hard work with positive feelings, and that will fuel your motivation to keep moving forward. But let's take it a step further. The reward doesn't just have to be something external. Sometimes the best reward is internal. It's the feeling of pride, the sense of accomplishment, the self-respect that comes with staying true to your commitments. When you take action and stick to your plan, you are proving to yourself that you can do it. You are showing yourself that you have the discipline, the focus, and the determination to keep going. That internal satisfaction is a powerful reward in itself. One of the keys to rewarding yourself is setting up a system of accountability. When you track your progress, when you mark off each day that you stay on track, you can clearly see how far you've come. And that's where the rewards come in. You've earned it. It's not about being perfect. It's about staying consistent, making progress, and not giving up. So when you reach a milestone, take a moment to celebrate it. Give yourself that reward, and let it fuel your drive for the next challenge. But remember, rewards are most effective when they are aligned with your goals. Don't reward yourself for just anything. Make sure the rewards are tied to the progress you're making toward your big vision. For example, if your goal is to eat healthier, don't reward yourself with unhealthy food. Instead, reward yourself with something that supports your goal. A new workout outfit, a day off to relax, or a fun activity you've been wanting to do. Align your rewards with the habits you want to build. And don't be afraid to make rewards meaningful. They don't always have to be material. Sometimes the best rewards are the ones that nurture your mind, body, and soul. Maybe it's taking time for self-care, reading a book that inspires you, or spending quality time with family or friends. These rewards help you recharge and remind you of why you're working hard in the first place. It's also important to understand that rewards don't have to be earned only for big wins. Recognize the small things. Maybe you're sticking to your morning routine for a week or making progress toward a long-term project. Celebrate those moments. The more you reward yourself for staying on track, the more motivated you'll feel to continue pushing yourself. It's all about creating a positive feedback loop. Your brain starts to associate hard work with pleasure, and that makes it easier to stay focused. Another aspect of rewarding yourself is to set up milestones along the way. These milestones act as checkpoints where you can stop, take a breath, and acknowledge the progress you've made. It's easy to get so caught up in the big goal that you forget to look at the little successes along the way. But every step forward is worth celebrating. And when you celebrate those milestones, you create a sense of accomplishment that keeps you moving toward the next one. Don't be afraid to get creative with your rewards. Rewards can be simple, but they should feel meaningful to you. It could be taking a break, doing something you love, or treating yourself to something special. The key is to make sure the reward aligns with the effort you've put in and reinforces the positive behavior. Over time, you'll see how these rewards boost your motivation, increase your consistency, and keep you on track. Finally, remember that rewards should never be the sole reason you stay on track. The real reward is the person you're becoming through this journey. The growth, the learning, the discipline, it's all leading you to a better version of yourself. But rewards play an important role in acknowledging that progress and keeping you motivated to continue. By recognizing your hard work and rewarding yourself for staying focused, you create a cycle of success that will propel you forward on your journey. So the next time you hit a small milestone or make progress toward your goal, take a moment to reward yourself. Recognize how far you've come and give yourself the credit you deserve. It's not about being perfect. It's about showing up, doing the work, and acknowledging that effort. The more you reward yourself, the more you'll build momentum, and the easier it will be to stay on track for the next step in your journey. Keep going, and remember, every step you take is worth celebrating. Number 8. Say no to time wasters. Your time is the one resource you can never get back. Every second, every minute, every hour is valuable, and once it's gone forever. That's why it's so crucial to recognize and eliminate time wasters in your life. We all have things that drain our time, whether it's distractions, unnecessary activities, or people who don't respect your time. The key to staying on track and achieving your goals is learning how to say no to these time wasters. Let me ask you this. How much time do you spend on things that don't move you forward? Think about it. How much time do you spend scrolling through social media, watching TV, or engaging in conversations that don't add any value to your life? These time wasters can feel good in the moment, but they're stealing from your future. They're taking away from the time you could be using to work toward your dreams, build your skills, and make progress. It's easy to get caught up in the distractions of daily life. We live in a world full of noise and interruptions, and it's tempting to fill our time with things that feel comfortable and easy. But here's the truth. Comfort won't get you closer to your goals. It's the hard work, the discipline, and the focus that will move you forward. And in order to stay focused, you have to make a conscious effort to eliminate the things that waste your time. Saying no to time wasters is about setting boundaries. It's about being intentional with your time and not letting anything or anyone take you off course. It's about recognizing that every moment is an opportunity to move closer to your goals, and you don't have the luxury of wasting any of that precious time. One of the biggest time wasters is procrastination. We all do it, and we've all fallen into the trap of putting things off. Maybe you're waiting for the perfect time to start something, or maybe you're just avoiding it because it feels too difficult. But here's the thing. There's never a perfect time. The perfect time is now. Procrastination is a time waster. And if you want to achieve anything, you have to learn how to stop putting things off. Every minute you spend procrastinating is a minute you'll never get back. Another time waster is spending too much time with people who don't value your time or your goals. You know the ones I'm talking about. The people who drain your energy, the ones who don't respect your boundaries, or the ones who are always asking for your time without giving anything in return. You have to be willing to say no to these people. It doesn't mean you don't care about them, but it means you're prioritizing your own time and your own goals. Saying no to time wasters doesn't just apply to people. it also applies to activities. How many hours do you spend doing things that don't serve your purpose? It could be binge watching TV shows, scrolling through social media for hours, or mindlessly browsing the internet. These activities might feel like a way to unwind, but they're draining your time and they're not helping you get closer to your dreams. Instead of filling your time with distractions, use those hours to focus on what really matters. Now, I'm not saying you have to give up all the things you enjoy. Everyone needs time to relax and recharge. But it's about balance. It's about being intentional with how you spend your time. If you're serious about achieving your goals, you need to cut back on the activities that don't serve your purpose and focus more on the things that will move you forward. You need to ask yourself, is this activity helping me get closer to my goals, or is it wasting my time? If it's not helping you move forward, then it's time to say no. One of the best ways to avoid time wasters is to set clear priorities. When you know what your goals are, when you have a clear vision of what you want to achieve, it becomes much easier to say no to distractions. You'll have a sense of purpose that guides your decisions, and you'll be less likely to waste time on things that don't align with your goals. Having a clear plan also helps you stay on track. When you know exactly what you need to do, and when you need to do it, it's easier to avoid getting sidetracked by time wasters. But you have to be disciplined. You have to stay committed to your plan and stick to it, even when distractions try to pull you away. It's also important to recognize that saying no doesn't make you rude or selfish. Saying no is a sign of respect for yourself and for your time. When you say no to something that doesn't align with your goals, you're making a conscious decision to protect your time and focus on what matters most. You're valuing your own time and putting your own growth first. And that's something you should be proud of. If you want to take control of your time, you need to take control of your decisions. You need to be the one who decides how you spend your day. That means saying no to things that waste your time and saying yes to things that move you closer to your goals. The more you practice this, the better you'll get at making decisions that align with your vision for your life. Over time, you'll find that you're able to stay focused, stay productive, and make more progress than ever before. Now let's talk about setting boundaries. One of the hardest parts of saying no is setting boundaries with people. But let me tell you, setting boundaries is essential for protecting your time and energy. It's okay to say no to things that don't align with your priorities. You don't have to explain yourself or feel guilty. Setting boundaries is about respecting your own time and making sure that others do the same. When you set boundaries, you're showing that you value your time and your goals. You're making it clear that you're serious about your success, and you're not going to let anything or anyone get in the way. And when you consistently say no to time wasters, you'll find that you have more time for the things that really matter. You'll have more time to focus on your goals, more time to grow, and more time to enjoy the things you truly love. It's not easy to say no, but it's necessary. You can't afford to waste your time on things that don't matter. If you want to achieve big things, you have to get serious about protecting your time. Say no to distractions, say no to people who don't respect your time, and say no to anything that doesn't serve your purpose. By doing this, you'll free up more time to focus on what truly matters and make real progress toward your goals. Remember, time is your most valuable resource. Don't waste it. Protect it. And make sure you're using every moment to move closer to the life you want to create. When you say no to time wasters, you're saying yes to your future. You're saying yes to your dreams. And that's the kind of choice that will change your life. Number 9. Spend 10 minutes planning tomorrow before bed. How often do you wake up in the morning feeling rushed or scattered, not sure where to begin or what to focus on? When you go to bed without a clear plan for the next day, you wake up in a fog, reacting to whatever comes your way instead of taking charge. But when you make the effort to plan your day the night before, you give yourself the clarity and confidence to hit the ground running. The first step is to take a few minutes to review your current goals. What is it that you're working toward? What are the most important tasks that will bring you closer to achieving those goals? By reminding yourself of your bigger vision, you create a sense of purpose for your day. When you wake up, you already know why you're getting out of bed and what you need to focus on. You're not guessing or wasting time figuring out what to do next. You know exactly where to direct your energy. Next, take a moment to prioritize. What are the top 3 things that you need to get done tomorrow? It's easy to get overwhelmed when you have a long list of tasks, but if you can identify the most important ones and tackle them first, you'll make the most significant progress. Prioritizing your tasks helps you stay focused on what truly matters, and prevents you from wasting time on less important activities. By focusing on what's truly essential, you ensure that you're moving closer to your goals each day. This is where the magic happens. When you set clear intentions for your day, you stop reacting to life and start taking control of it. Instead of waking up feeling uncertain or stressed, you wake up with purpose, knowing exactly what you need to do and why it matters. You've already decided what your day will look like, so there's no need to waste time figuring it out in the morning. You're ready to go. The benefits of planning the night before go beyond just having a clear agenda. It also helps you reduce decision fatigue. When you're not constantly making decisions throughout the day about what to do next, you conserve your mental energy. Planning ahead means you're not wasting time and energy figuring out what you should be doing. You've already made those decisions, and now you can simply focus on execution. But planning your day isn't just about organizing tasks. It's also about setting a positive tone for your mindset. The way you start your day often determines how you feel about it. If you wake up already overwhelmed by everything you have to do, it can feel like an uphill battle. But when you go to bed feeling in control of your schedule and confident about your priorities, you're more likely to wake up with a positive attitude. You're not starting the day with stress, you're starting it with clarity and direction. It's also important to remember that planning doesn't mean you have to have every minute of your day scheduled. You don't need to plan every detail down to the last second. The goal is to get clear on your most important tasks and set yourself up for success. A flexible plan allows for unexpected events or changes, but it gives you a framework to work within so that you're always moving toward your bigger goals. Having that structure in place makes it easier to stay on track when things come up. Spending those 10 minutes planning your day also gives you the chance to reflect on what worked and what didn't. You might ask yourself, what did I accomplish today? What went well and what could I have done differently? Reflection helps you learn from your experiences and improve over time. It helps you make small adjustments to your approach and stay on course as you move forward. The act of reflection ensures that you're not just mindlessly going through the motions, but that you're actively growing and improving every day. In addition to setting tasks and priorities, take a moment to think about your personal well-being. Make sure you're taking care of yourself physically, emotionally, and mentally. What can you do tomorrow to nurture your health and happiness? How can you create space for relaxation or self-care amidst the busyness? When you plan your day with your well-being in mind, you ensure that you're not just being productive, you're also taking care of yourself in the process. The beauty of this habit is that it doesn't take long to do, but it has a profound impact on your day. Just 10 minutes of planning before bed sets you up for success and helps you avoid the chaos and stress that often come with a disorganized start. This small habit, practiced consistently, can make a huge difference in your productivity, your mindset, and your ability to achieve your goals. It's also a way of setting yourself up for an easier morning. When you wake up, you don't have to spend time figuring out what needs to be done. You've already made those decisions the night before. You've given yourself the gift of clarity and focus, and that clarity carries over into the day ahead. You start the morning with purpose, and that momentum carries you through the rest of your day. Planning your day before bed also helps you avoid the trap of busy work. You know the type of work I'm talking about. The tasks that make you feel productive, but don't actually move you closer to your goals. When you plan ahead, you can avoid getting sidetracked by things that don't really matter. You can focus on the tasks that are going to help you make progress and move the needle forward in your life. This habit of planning the night before also encourages discipline. You're making the effort to sit down, think ahead, and make a plan. That discipline builds over time and becomes a part of who you are. The more you practice this habit, the more you'll notice that you're becoming more organized, more focused, and more in control of your time. But here's the real key. Planning ahead isn't about being perfect. It's about being intentional. Life will throw unexpected challenges your way, and things won't always go according to plan. But when you've already set your intentions and priorities, you're better prepared to handle those challenges with confidence and flexibility. You can adjust your plan when needed, but you always have a clear sense of where you're headed. So tonight, before you go to bed, take 10 minutes to plan tomorrow. Write down your priorities, set your intentions, and think about how you can move closer to your goals. You'll sleep better knowing that you have a plan in place, and you'll wake up ready to take on the day with purpose and clarity. It's a small habit, but it's one that will pay off in a big way. The simple act of planning ahead can transform your productivity, your mindset, and ultimately your life. Number 10. End the month with a new goal. As the month comes to a close, it's time to reflect on everything you've accomplished and everything you still want to achieve. The end of the month is the perfect opportunity to take stock of where you're at and make sure that you're on track to meet your long-term goals. But more importantly, it's a chance to set a new goal, a fresh challenge that will push you to keep growing and moving forward. Ending the month with a new goal doesn't just help you stay on course. It keeps you motivated, focused, and constantly striving to become a better version of yourself. So let's start with the most important question. Why is setting a new goal at the end of the month so powerful? Well, think of it this way. Life moves fast. Days turn into weeks, and weeks turn into months before you know it. If you don't intentionally pause and set new goals, it's easy to fall into the trap of simply going through the motions. The days start to blend together, and before you know it, a month has passed, and you haven't made any significant progress toward what you really want. But when you end the month with a new goal, you're giving yourself a fresh purpose. You're reminding yourself that you're not done yet, that there's more to achieve, more to work toward, and more growth to experience. This new goal becomes the next step in your journey, the next challenge that will push you out of your comfort zone and into the realm of personal growth. And just like that, you've got a renewed sense of direction for the next month. Now let's talk about how you go about setting this new goal. The first thing you need to do is reflect on the past month. What did you accomplish? What went well and what didn't? Reflection is a crucial part of goal setting because it helps you learn from your experiences and adjust your approach moving forward. If you were able to achieve something big, celebrate it. Acknowledge your progress and use that success as momentum for the next month. But if you didn't quite hit the mark, that's okay too. Take note of what didn't work and think about how you can adjust your strategy. Every setback is an opportunity to learn and grow. Once you've taken time to reflect, it's time to look ahead. The key here is to make sure that your new goal is specific, measurable, and aligned with your long-term vision. Don't just set a vague goal like I want to be healthier or I want to make more money. These types of goals are too broad and lack the clarity you need to make real progress. Instead, make your goals specific. For example, instead of saying I want to be healthier, set a goal like I will exercise for 30 minutes every day this month, or I will drink 8 glasses of water every day this month. These are clear, actionable goals that you can track and measure. It's also important to make sure that your new goal is challenging but achievable. You don't want to set a goal that's too easy because you won't feel motivated to push yourself. But you also don't want to set a goal that's so big and overwhelming that you don't know where to start. Find a balance, a goal that stretches you but is within your reach. If you put in the effort, once you've set your goal, break it down into smaller, manageable steps. This is where the real work happens. Big goals can feel overwhelming, but when you break them down into smaller tasks, they become more doable. Let's say your goal is to read a book every week for the month. Instead of just thinking about the whole month's worth of reading, break it down into daily tasks. You might decide to read 30 minutes every day, and then track your progress along the way. These small, consistent actions will add up and help you reach your goal by the end of the month. Another key to achieving your new goal is to stay committed. It's easy to get excited about a new goal at first, but the real challenge comes when you hit obstacles or feel tempted to give up. That's when the real work begins. Remember that achieving any goal requires consistency and perseverance. The key is to stay focused and keep moving forward, even on the days when it's hard or when you don't feel motivated. This is where discipline comes in. You don't always have to feel motivated to keep working toward your goal. You just have to show up and do the work, even when you don't feel like it. One of the best ways to stay on track with your new goal is to track your progress. This can be as simple as writing down what you accomplish each day or using an app to keep track of your habits. Tracking your progress keeps you accountable and helps you see how far you've come. It's also a great way to remind yourself that you are making progress even if it doesn't always feel like it. Sometimes when we're focused on the bigger picture, it's hard to notice the small wins. But tracking your progress helps you see the results of your hard work and keeps you motivated to keep going. It's also important to be flexible with your goal. Life doesn't always go according to plan, and things might come up that get in the way of your progress. If you encounter obstacles, don't give up on your goal. Instead, adjust your approach and keep moving forward. Being flexible means understanding that setbacks happen, but they don't have to derail your entire goal. The key is to keep your eyes on the prize and stay determined, no matter what challenges arise. When the end of the next month rolls around, take a moment to reflect again. Celebrate your successes, no matter how big or small. Look back on the progress you've made and appreciate the effort you put in. If you reached your goal, take pride in that accomplishment. If you didn't quite make it, that's okay too. What matters is that you showed up, put in the work, and kept moving forward. And then as the next month begins, repeat the process. End the month with a new goal. Reflect, set a specific and measurable goal, break it down into actionable steps, stay committed, track your progress, and stay flexible when challenges arise. This is how you build momentum, grow, and continue moving toward the life you want to create. The key to success is not just about having goals, it's about taking consistent action toward them. By ending each month with a new goal, you keep yourself on track and keep growing. You don't give yourself the option to rest for too long or get complacent. Instead, you're always pushing forward, always striving for something better. And that's how you build the life you've always dreamed of. So as this month comes to a close, take the time to set a new goal. This is your chance to challenge yourself, take action, and keep moving toward the future you deserve. You've now got a clear, simple plan to transform your life in just 1 month. The key is to start today. Take that first step, even if it's small. It's the consistent effort over time that will create real change. Remember, nothing happens overnight, but every day you take action, you get closer to the life you want. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be committed and stay focused on your goal. As you finish this month, take a moment to look back and appreciate what you've accomplished. Celebrate the progress you've made, no matter how big or small, and then keep going. Keep setting new goals, keep pushing yourself, and keep making progress. If you follow this plan, you'll see growth, and that growth will build on itself month after month. The best part, you have the power to create the life you want, one step at a time. Thank you for watching, and I hope you're ready to take action and start making the next 30 days count. Keep moving forward, and let's make this month the start of something amazing. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.